Hey guys, Britto here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2019 in our Rags2Riches series. Here with our case cotton harvester, we're going to continue. On harvesting the cotton here, and I'm going to cultivate the field over here. The cultivator that we have at the moment, um, let's just say it is not the case Tiger Mate. While it works well for me when I use it, when we hire a worker, the worker just does like donuts in reverse, and it just doesn't work overly well for a hired worker. So we'll set our worker over there to start harvesting, and once again we have the same issues as we had before, where the hired worker doesn't want to sort of go the right way down the field. I don't know what the exact issue is. Yeah, it is quite strange, so I don't know what the problem's going to be. I might do a run up, a run back, and then have a look at just sending him this way, I guess. See what happens. Still haven't wrapped those other bales yet, haven't collected these other ones, or created these other bales yet either. So much stuff to do, so little time to do it. Once we get all this done, we should start making some decent money, as you guys know. And we're going to look at putting in some pig areas. I'm thinking like up here is probably going to be our first one, so $70,000 for up there. That'll get us the initial part of the land, probably our first pig area. Then here we also have the diesel Herstung, takes canola and makes pig food and diesel. So that's what I'm going to go for when we start producing our pigs and that sort of stuff. Of course, our pigs, our byproduct's going to be slurry and manure, which we'll be able to sell and use on our fields, and also we'll be able to sell the pigs to the slaughterhouse, which technically isn't a thing yet. You just sell it back to where you brought them from, pretty much. But I mean, if someone could make like a slaughterhouse mod, I think that would be bloody awesome. It would be it'd make a huge difference as far as the playability of the game goes with pigs. So that, as I said, that's quite expensive. I think it was 225,000. So yeah, very, very expensive. Seem to be pulling along really well with this thing. I might bump the speed up to 20. Make sure I put the cultivator up in the air when we get to the end of the field, because it will get rid of that grass. So if I hold forward here, we can go as fast as we like with this thing, which I'm not overly happy about. But I think if we were to sell this guy, we're only leasing it, we'll get rid of that and pick up this guy. I'll be a little bit happier with the horse equipment. Obviously we can't afford it right now, don't think. Stop you here. End of the field. Let's have a quick look. Can we afford to lease it? 3.8. We've got 2.3, so not yet. But we're probably not too far off being able to lease it. We might be able to sell some of our bales and that sort of stuff and get a little bit of extra money in our pocket. Because I'd like to be able to hire a worker and get another worker to do this while we're sort of doing our own thing. Our seeder is 270 horsepower, so neither this guy I think can pull it, but not quite as good as obviously this tractor here. How's he going? He's doing alright. He's missing a little bit down that end, but that's not too bad. Won't get too worried about that. Right, that side's done. You can see this sort of turns around weird when we do like a hard turn. Alright, so I'll keep heading this way. I might do a run down to the right and back up again, I think. Just so we don't run through the field and have any dramas or get rid of that grass, because it's all money. That grass is all money to us. You can see over that side there's a bit of a gap where the hired worker ran through the field and unfortunately got rid of the crop. Well, not the crop, but the grass. So if we go through to the end here, stop, lift you up. If we sort of go up and spin around, and back down, head straight this way. So I have had a few other suggestions for our next series. No loan challenge, and no mods at all. So pure vanilla FS19, which I think is not a bad idea. Try and showcase what Farming Simulator sort of gives you when you first buy the game. That would be quite interesting. So I'm sort of leaning towards that, but you guys let me know what you think. If you guys have any certain maps in mind, let me know as well. It's going to be something that we're going to be able to make some money from, and to be able to upgrade our equipment and that sort of stuff. But I think as far as that challenge goes, the no loan, no mod challenge, we'll probably have to start on easy difficulty, so at least we start off with like a little bit of money to get our farm up and running, and be able to go from there. But I do like the idea of, you know, no loan, no mod challenge. It's quite an interesting idea. Certainly going vanilla is a good idea. Alright, so I'm going to press H to hire a worker. Check on this guy. Spat out another bale. Good work. Might grab you, because we're going to have to start baling, and that tractor's going to have dramas, I have no doubt, so we will have to keep a close eye on him as well. So I want to get rid of this round baler as well and get a square baler. I don't mind the round balers, but as you guys know, with these things you have to actually stop and unload them, and that's a bloody pain. So that's why I sort of steer clear of these things. At least with the other ones we can just spit the bale straight at the back and without having to stop at all. There we go, another grass bale. Let's have a look. He's turned around then. I bet you he won't turn around at this end. We'll see. Might make a fool out of me yet, but I doubt it. So he's missed a fair bit at that end, so I don't know what's wrong with this field, really. I know we've expanded it quite a bit, but... Okay, there he starts reversing now, and we'll see where he ends up, like all over the bloody shop. I do like this tractor too. This tractor looks awesome. I love it. Certainly not very powerful, but yeah, it's a pretty good tractor. So I think if we start, look at him go. We start the no loan, no mod challenge. I will use the DLC, like the Anderson DLC, but that is it. No other mods or anything. I think the horse stuff maybe we could use, because it's not I think it's classed as a mod, but it's more of a DLC in my opinion. But it's like a free DLC that the Giants have actually given us, so there you go, fill us up, come on. I'll drop you off. Let's cycle through to you. That's what I mean, see, just, I don't know what the bloody worker's doing, but it's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's all I am sure of. Right, so let's head back this way, hit hire worker again. Get you going. So we're going to have a few bales to wrap. We've got a few more bales over there we've got to wrap. We've got bales to pick up, so we've got a fair bit to do to sell these bales and stuff. We're not going to need bales once we go to the pigs. We'll put our pig farm in over here. As I said, we'll level out this ground all through here and put in like the mountain sort of effect there, so that way we've got more room for some more cow pens and that sort of stuff. Like around here, around the field, we're going to put our house and stuff in there. That's one other thing we're going to put in there, possibly some more garages and that sort of stuff for us to store our vehicles. So it does the run up and the run back, and then it starts to struggle, so I don't know what's sort of going on. It's not the tractor, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's the cultivator. That's the reason why we're having the dramas. Yeah, it's going to reverse again and end up all over the bloody place. So we'll just run through here, go and jump in and sort him out again, which is quite annoying, but it has to be done. I do like this tractor though. For the price you pay, it's big, it's powerful, and it sort of matches the whole Rags2Riches thing, because we're not buying, you know, a brand new huge powerful tractor. It is an old school tractor, so it certainly fits. So I think if we do go with the no loan no mod let's play series, we're just going to have to find a map to work on, see what's out there, see what's available, and go from there. I want something that's been tested and is pretty good. I don't know about, there's a few other maps that have like a multi-fruit option. Now I don't know if we could go to one of those maps without mods, or we have to have mods, so that's one thing I have to look in as well. But doing like a multi-fruit option, and maybe doing like a whole heap of tobacco or something, would be quite different and quite cool. But we'll have to look around and see what we can find. So now he's all over the shop again, that bloody tractor. See, just doing donuts. And he'll do that for hours and hours and hours unless you go and sort him out. It's quite strange. Alright, so let's cultivate that a little bit. Let's head back up the field this way. Try and get some more of this done. We'll be able to plant some more cotton as well. So as far as that pig thing goes, I think we're going to need to plant some canola somewhere, and that might be the canola field over there. But we're also going to have to get a harvester and have a way to be able to harvest the canola. So that's one thing we sort of need to look at as well as our long-term sort of goal. Elizabeth has completed her task. Well done. Not very well, but it's done. Right, so get that, throw this bale out. Cycle through. There is a new mod that's just come out as well, which stops the hired worker from turning the tractor off for up to 2 or 3 minutes or something, which is quite interesting as well, which is another mod that I probably will probably take a look at. Alright, so I need to see now. Actually, might as well unfold you and lower you down. Sort of just line you up and then drop you off, because we're going to come back and do this anyway. Obviously not right now, but we will. There's still bits of cotton that they're missing a fair bit, so we'll go and grab the cotton cedar, which we can't pick up for some strange reason. What's going on here? This is interesting. It's got a 3-point hitch and everything on the back, so we'll pick that up, but it won't pick up that. We shouldn't need a 3-point hitch anyway, really. Okay, well, shut you down for a second. Jump into you and go and have a look and see if you can pick it up. You should be able to. That tractor should be able to, really. Not quite sure what's going on here. Yep, you can pick it up. Okay, well, looks like you'll be doing it. I'll have to go and grab some fertilizer as well. Fill it up as much as we can. While that's happening, let's keep this going. We're probably going to end up in a negative balance. I don't think it lets you go into a negative balance. I think it only allows you to buy as much as you can afford at the time. So drop you off. I'm going to make sure we have... No, all that needs to be turned off. That's right. I think I did turn it on just to get it planted quickly. Right, let's unfold it and see how this tractor goes. This tractor should be able to pull it along. It's 261 horsepower and this requires 270, I think it was. So it should pull it along. Probably not quite as effective as the big tractor would, but it seems to be pulling along pretty well. Well, that'll do nicely. So we'll do a run this way, and then I think we'll just hire a worker to go that way, and hopefully won't cause any dramas. I think we should be able to get through this field pretty quickly. So I'm not sure why that tractor won't get the job done. We might have to look at unfortunately, maybe even getting rid of that tractor if it's not going to pull this along. But there's no reason why it shouldn't if it can pull along that cultivator. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the go is there. Anyway, you can do your thing. So we get out and look at the back. There's like the trailer hitch and the 3-point hitch there. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Right, so we don't have much left to do to get all this grass picked up. I'll drop you down. Hopefully we can get the cotton field done this episode and sell those bales. And then we can look at buying that other field next to us on our right hand side here. And look at putting in the pig area at least. That will then allow us to be able to sort of set ourselves up ready for those guys. So some of these straw bales will stay because we're going to need them for the bedding for the pigs, of course. Also going to need a water trailer and all that sort of stuff, but I think some of those straw bales can possibly go and get sold because we're not going to need all of them. There's quite a few there. Let me have a look quickly at the field. Yeah, good. I was making sure it didn't need lime or anything. I was pretty sure it didn't, but thought I would double check. So yeah, he seems to be getting along really well. How's he going? He's not far off finishing. We're going to have plenty that we need to touch up on. Just still really confusing to me why it does that. I'm not quite sure. I know we did expand the field. Maybe we shouldn't have, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. throw this one out. Wherever it lands, it lands. We'll run down. I think we've only got one more little run to do. I could have picked all this up, but there should... You're not bloody finished. Should be... Oops, I lifted that up. There should be enough for us here anyway to make another bale, I'm hoping. If not, we can go down and scrounge around and get a little bit, but I always want to make sure we finish on a bale and don't have any leftover sort of sitting in the baler, just in case we need to turn to straw or something. Right, that's done. Throw you out, drop this off. So we need to pick up these silage bales and we need to rewrap these grass bales. But the most important thing now is to get the rest of this cotton field done. So you back in beside the wrapper, and then we'll... Oh, that was terrible. Go and finish off the cotton harvesting. This tractor's really weird to sort of back things up with. Alright, start you back up. Might as well just do a run right around the outside. Come back down and grab the rest of it. There's plenty of touching up to do here, which is... it's really bloody strange to me. Maybe we can get rid of this area. Completely get rid of it. No field here, just our pigs here. Probably would be a better idea, I'd say. Just because of the dramas we're having at the moment with getting the field done. Just keep that one big field there for cotton, this other big field here for whatever it needs to be. What is it? Canola. We can get one of those rollers and return it to the normal ground state, which will be here. This one, return it to the normal ground state, which will then give us the field back, but then we'll have this little area here to put our pigs in and have like a little canola field here or something, to at least get our pigs started a little bit quicker, which that might be a decent option. Got heaps down here to still pick up. So I do like the idea of that no mod challenge, no loan challenge. It's just a matter of looking around for a map that I think would be quite good to work with. I don't want to do Felsbrunn or Ravenport. I'd like to do a custom made map, so I might have a look at the mod websites after this episode and see what I can find. These two series will be going for quite some time yet, so whether we have this new no loan no mod challenge, only have one episode per week, might be something I could look at, just to sort of bring it to you guys and have our Monday, Wednesday, Friday USA series and our Tuesday, Thursday John Deere Rags2Riches Mercury Farm series. Oh, there we go. So we're going to nearly have another full bale here. Whatever we have though, I will empty it out and take it and sell it, because we really need the money. Don't think we can go with any more loans, no. So I think that's even part of the field over there, and it's still not picking it up overly well. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I think returning this to the state that it was at before would be probably the best thing to do, and then have this area here as our pig area. We won't have to buy that other bit of land for the $70,000 that they're asking. So I think that would be a smarter idea. I know we're going to lose a lot of the stuff we worked hard to do to make this into a field, but long term I think it will be probably more beneficial, and obviously saving that $70,000 is going to work out pretty good too. So 94%, still a pretty good bale. So that field is nearly already fully seeded. That's how quick that is. That's awesome. Right, can we shut the back? There we go. Fold it back up, park it back over here. Sort of back out of the way when it needs to be serviced too. It's quite used at the moment. So let's not use you. Let's use the big boy. We still had that little bit there. Oh well, that doesn't matter. Thought we had finished, but obviously not. We use this guy because this guy's got more power. If we can pick this trailer up. Yep, there we go. And it'll get us to and from a little bit quicker. So let's back you back. Set it up to transport mode. Pick it up and let's get out of here. Take this and drop it off. Like I said, a fair bit of overkill, but certainly get us there and back a lot quicker than anything else. That's why I'd like to maybe buy a truck or something, because the truck will get us there pretty quick. Selling our cotton bales. These wheels ain't look like they're turning. They are. There was another mod as well that I did see which increases the capacity of the bales, so we can go from a 20,000 litre, I think it's 20,000 litre square bale, maybe up to like a 50,000 litre square bale. So each bale will be worth like 250,000. So that would be quite interesting to look at that mod as well, possibly. I don't really know if it's really that important, but it'd be pretty cool not to have to sort of have to unload every 20,000. But there we go, 85,000 for that one. I still got one to go. So we'll go back and grab the other one. We're going to need to, I think we'll just lease the roller, because I want to get that field back to where it was, and see how we go from there. So a quick look at our time. A minute and a half we have. And I'll run across that crop just trying to turn our timer off. Just want to get a few more things done before we end the episode, but as always I want to try and keep the episodes around that half an hour mark. Okay, so we'll pick this bale up, then I'll grab one of our other tractors. We'll head, oh Jesus. Head back to the shop. Hate reversing this thing. There we go. Right, shut you down. Was that fully? I think it's missed a little bit down there, but that's not too bad. Right, let's fold this thing up. We'll stick it over here, ready to go. Oh, come on. There we go, done. So drop you off, we'll run through to the shop, so we might run down this way. Come out through our main gate area. It's going to be good once we get all that fenced off. I think it'll look really good. Right, so head down to the shop. As I said, we'll get this roller, we'll get that field turned into how it was before, and then I can paint the rest of it into like the grass painting tool, turn it all back into grass. Might as well pick you up. I don't know if we own this or we're only leasing it. Might as well throw it on the front and drive around with it. Also going to have to grab that service trailer sometime soon, or we're going to have to put in like a service shed down here somewhere, because quite a lot of our equipment is starting to get quite worn, quite used. Like this tractor is already up to nearly 4 hours usage, so it is going to start to cost us a fair bit to keep it running and everything. So we can service it, it'll be able to run full capacity again and not have to worry too much about it. Right, turn back into our farm. Let's have a look at our map. I'm going to try and work out where we are. I think it's roughly back to this, around about there maybe. See how this goes. Alright, bring this up, lower it. I don't think you need to lower it. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure it's not going to... Actually, it probably will get rid of all of that, because that's not even part of where the field was originally. It shouldn't remove... Actually, it's removing everything. It should return it to the normal ground state, which... obviously was not grass, it was a field when we purchased it. That could be the problem. That is quite weird. Right, what I'll do is I'll drop that off completely. I'll go back into here. We're going to return that because that just isn't working. We can return that as well. We can return that as well. Right, that cedar can probably just stay there for now. Let's jump in this guy, move him out of the way, because I'm going to repaint all this area just into grass. So that should have returned it to the normal ground state, which obviously that didn't. I don't know whether the ground state wasn't set up properly. I'm not quite sure, like when the modder made it, so I don't know. So that'll return everything back to grass if we do this. So I don't want to go too far though. Just enough to get rid of the field. There we go. Keep part of that dirt road, of course. Right, so yeah, turn all this back. Ooh, that's probably too far. Turn it all back into grass. Need to... where are we? Do that. So that didn't help at all. Which one is it? I can never work out which one it is. That one. There we go. Back to normal grass. That still sort of put grass on the road, which is what I didn't want. Right, there we go. So now we can make this full size. paint all this just to normal grass, and this will be where we put our pigs. All through here, instead of doing it down the other end, having to buy that field. But it is kind of strange that we couldn't return that field to its original state. As I said, it is really, really weird. Let's go back through. See if I can't at least... There you go, get rid of this grass off the road. There you go. That'll do, I think. So that's where we're going to put our pig pen. So we might take this bale of cotton, drop this off, we'll come back to the farm, we'll put in our first pig pen in here somewhere, and then we'll end the episode. I know it's probably going to go over half an hour, maybe closer to 40 minutes at half an hour, but hopefully it'll be worth it. Hopefully you guys will be happy. So other field is done now, so we just need to wrap those bales, sell those bales, bring in a little bit of extra cash, get another cultivator organised, which I think we'll have to do pretty soon, otherwise we will end up with some dramas, I think, because we need that before we go buying too much else, otherwise we won't be able to redo our other fields. Alright, there we go. Let's shut you down for a second. Let's have a look at our animal pens. So we have all these ones we don't want. Cow barn modern, cow pasture. These are both the same. They're just like, they hold the same amount of pigs. They look different. That's the only difference, I think. So let's turn these around. Yeah, they do. The only thing difference is they look different. And that one's probably a lot bigger. Let's go with the old school looking one, I think. And I think, where are we going to go first? So we could have put one down here. I think if we put one like in this corner first, would be okay. Something like that. There we go. Boom. And we have enough money to buy two. Which I know they kind of look... I don't know if it's going to look weird because they're exactly the same, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, we'll put in two. Do a bit of manscaping. Sort of manscaping into there, that's the different texture. That's the one. Is that the one? That's not the same texture either. Which one is it? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. That one. There we go. We'll sort of bring this into here, which will sort of allow us to drop off the water. A little bit of a walkway there. Pick up the slurry. This is obviously where we drive in and out. Everything's got signs on it, so it shouldn't have any dramas trying to work things out. So we're gonna sort of bring in a road and stuff like this. This one will swing around and through. This one will swing around and through as well. It's a little bit of designing as well, which you guys know I do enjoy the whole designing side of things. Right, so get that through to there as well. You can go into there. Bring sort of a road out of there. There's no other doors around that side or there, so bring like a little walkway sort of thing out of there. That looks pretty good, I think. So if you have a look at the doors, you've got animal unloading, pig feed, like feeding, normal feed and straw feeding. Alright, so while we're here, let's go Can I find it? It's not in there. It must be in here. It is fence large. I'm thinking, which way are we going? This way. Put a fence along the back of the pig barns. Like along the back, just here. So zoom in a little bit and make sure that we sort of get it right. There we go. So how far past? Not too far past, so maybe about here somewhere. And I want to sort of go the center of this. Ooh, so this is going to be interesting because not the same height. That didn't place. God damn it, I was editing a video in the background. Then it changed the screen. This is going to be quite tough now to line this up, I think. How's that? Doesn't look great. No, certainly doesn't look great at all. Not that fence. Get rid of this one. There we go. Try that again. So we want it to make sure it's sort of in the center of it. It's still going to be bloody tough though. There, I think that's pretty bloody good. Alright, then we'll go with our normal fence post, which I think might need to do it this way, possibly. I don't know which way to do it. This is sort of the hardest part, sorting these things out. Something like that, which isn't perfect. But if it's not perfect, then I'm not too concerned. That's that one. That one's way better than the last one. Yep, that's much better. Alright, there we go. We can change the height and placement and stuff. We can. But that doesn't look too bad, I suppose. We can put in some trees and stuff, but that, as you guys know, the more of this stuff we sort of put in, the more drummers we end up with. I was thinking of going with this little farmhouse too, which I wanted to put in, like, as I said, over in here somewhere. So the main entrance is sort of around this way. To sort of have a bit of a gap between there and here. So let's put a house sort of in there. I know this is another very lengthy episode. Hopefully you guys don't mind too much. So a bit of a walkway. I want to maybe put in like a driveway, something like that, because I want to put in like a shed here to store a vehicle when we decide that we're actually going to get one. Put that there, have that so we can sort of walk out onto the road. Doesn't look too bad. Alright, let's have a quick look at our sheds first before we end the episode. So there's the one vehicle shed, which is pretty much exactly what I want. Now, I don't know, might have to do it this way. Something along those lines like that. There we go. Let's cycle through so we can have a bit of a look around. So we've got our house now with our vehicle shed. Our back door coming out into the road, so our fence will continue on from there on, but we'll have like a little bit of a gap here so we can walk out to the road. It's our main entrance to the house. We have the sleep function, of course, which is awesome. Come over to our pig pens. We can't open that door. Fans? I don't know if were they on or off. Oh, now they're on. Press the button. Turn them off, maybe? And now they're off. And then turn them on. Awesome. That is pretty cool. Then, of course, we have our animal loading area. So let's turn these fans on. That's sort of up off the bloody ground, which isn't nice at all. Might need to go through and fix this ground up a little bit to get this stuff at the right height. That's probably why this didn't want to go where it was supposed to. Alright, so what I'll do, guys, is I'll end the episode here. I will get this ground taken care of here and sort of level it out a little bit better and go from there. So if you guys enjoyed this one, as always, smash that like button, leave a comment, let me know you've been thinking of the series so far. If you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed yet, guys, please do so. It's been Britto, thanks for watching. See you again soon.